works in this country that is progressive, where the rich anyway pay more tax than people who are poor. So what are you suggesting that's different?
Okay, I think we'll start with the president.
ANCYL. No, thank you very much. Today we not going to discuss the Julius Malema, EFF and ANC measure. That has got nothing to do with the call by students. If the ANC and EFF are to merge, will there be free education? The answer is no. So we're not going to discuss that. Whether we are for or not for the idea is not for today. And anyway, we will not allow the ANC to collapse. Deal with the issue that Mcebo Dlamini has been very vociferous on the issue of the implementation of the education. Now, why are we aligning ourselves with him? That is not his call. You see, when there's a struggle, when the Youth League marches tomorrow to the JSE, it's not a Colin Maina march, it's an ANC Youth League march. Now, this call can't then be personalized of the student. And we are repeatedly saying as the Youth League that when we were established in 1944, part of the calls we made was that there must be free education. So we have made that call in 1944 already. So it can't then be reduced to an individual. And we have always said that we support it. And we are saying that we don't support a shutting down of campuses. We also still encouraging students to go back to classes while we are putting pressure on government and the Commission in particular to report earlier than anticipated, which then say that the Commission that was established by the President must then report this year, so that next year there must be clarity on what is going to happen. And as we are saying, we want free education to be implemented this year, or by next year. Secretary General of the ANC, the SG likes to be a friend of the Youth League these days when he makes statements. Now, the Freedom Charter says that education will be awarded on the basis of merit. Now, passing matric, other students pass matric and do not qualify to go to institutions of higher learning. Those who qualify, it means that is merit. So merit cannot only then be issues. For the fact that you qualify to get into the institution of higher learning, that is merit. And now, if we get into the institution of higher learning, that is merit. And now, if Freedom Charter said that in 1955, we then said in 2007, based on what the Freedom Charter is saying, as the ANC, which elected the Secretary General for the first time, that there must be free education. When he was elected for the second time in Mangaung, the same call was reaffirmed. So we don't really understand where the comrade is coming from. Maybe we need to debate with the SG the issue merit. Maybe there's a lack of understanding when it comes to merit. Of course, we understand English is not our mother tongue, so we ought to engage each other on the issue of that particular thing. As for the PYA not meeting, I'm sure TD that if we're not disingenuous, we have addressed to here, the secretaries of the PYA have addressed a press conference here. All of them were represented. But what we're just saying is that recently we came to you differently, saying the same thing but differently. So we want to maintain that thing of us as the PYA always sending the same message. It will be many messages, many voices, but one message. I would now allow other comrades to come in, because this is not mine alone, it's with the provincial chairpersons, so that you don't say many things. Other chairpersons have apologized, they've got responsibilities. I don't expect that you must say the things you write. And as you can see, the deputy president is also not here, because this is a presidential thing. He also has commitment, so don't go and write your things that you normally write, that a Colin faction attended, so others, no. Provincial chairpersons have rendered apologies. The other one is an MEC, she's having sports award. The other one is a mayor, so I can quote all of them. He's having ESCO, so that you don't come disingenuous when you report some girl. Comrades, chairperson, you can respond to others.
Thank you very much, President. I think President gave an account. There is a question, by the way, my name is Tim Mashele, the Provincial Chair in Mpumalanga. There is a question on the issue of tax. We were saying as the ANC Youth League, CEOs of this big conglomerate, one person will take home 100 million, and it cannot be correct. We don't want to stand here, President, and name their names, but we know them. One man can take 100 million home alone, whereas people are poor and they can't access free education. One of the important issues which determine our existence as the ANC Youth League and as the African National Congress is to pursue an agenda of building a developmental state. We want to build a developmental state, and a prerequisite in building a developmental state is education. Education is the building blocks. That is why if you track back resolutions of conferences, you go to Pulukwan, we are saying free education. What we are saying now is that we want free education now. Our Congress last year said free education, and some Molopoloists decided to get into the street and jump up and down, saying free education. We are saying as the ANC Youth League, we are going to march side by side with the young people of this country. Where the leadership of the young people will lead society and will make sure that we put pressure in the ANC-led government in making sure that we realize free education in our lifetime and today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mohammed Khalid Sayed is the name, and I'm the provincial chairperson of the Western Cape ANC Youth League. There was a question linked to the statements of the SG, but a question relating to the National Students' Aid Fund, NSFAS. We need to reiterate, because in our province this issue has come up a lot, and it's often postured by some as a form of free education. We want to emphasize again that NSFAS is not a form of free education. NSFAS is a loan, and it's an interest-based loan. We are saying that NSFAS is a temporary solution. It's not the long-term solution. Quality free higher education is the long-term solution. The other issue is to say, with regards to the issue of the tax, the wealth tax, it was clearly basically put across by our chairperson previously, the chairperson from Mpumalanga. But also, National Treasury, beyond providing funding, National Treasury needs to start seriously looking at the policy posture that it's taking, the kind of policy framework that we have. We need a policy framework that is going to make free higher education possible. A policy framework, not only a policy framework in terms of funding from the state, but a policy framework that is going to ensure that the private sector, particularly white monopoly capital, is held accountable, that it contributes, that it's forced to contribute. So that's the kind of interventions that we're also talking about. And I think that is why comrades have indicated the importance of the march to National Treasury. It's not that we are opposed to Treasury. It's not that we are opposed to a minister in particular, but the responsibility lies there economically. To say that individuals must not come around and try and pose as knights in shining armor and speak out against policies of the ANC and say that free education is not possible. When the ANC has resolved on it, they must make it possible through the policy frameworks which they must politically take the lead on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Makalo Mohali, the provincial chair of the ANC Youth League in the Free State. The issue I want us to write on is the one of the wealth tax. I think it is very clear that private sector is the major beneficiaries of the skills from the higher education sector. So they can't just be sitting there and wants to enjoy that year in, year out, there will be graduates whose education has been highly subsidized by government. So it's high time that they come on board, because at the current pace, it will not be possible to can rely only on the national fiscus. Private sector, they get billions, which they decide what to do. And remember, tax is paid by everyone. Even the poor person still pay tax in form of VAT. So that is why those ones that are making a lot of money, they have a responsibility to contribute to the developmental state. So I think that is very clear that the more money you make, you must come back and contribute back into the society. We are very clear on that one. We are not apologetic as ANC Youth League. Thank you.
Carlos?
Thank you. Firstly, my name is Matume Chilwani, the Provincial Chair of Gauteng. I would not want to go into the wealth tax. I think fellow leaders have covered it correctly on our position. But what we need to emphasize, and what the President has emphasized, that the struggles of students are not struggles of particular individuals. When you come on board and say this one must happen, it means that we agree with the cause of our people in general. So it cannot be linked that because we are seeing people doing it. That is why we said, and we are saying here, that we are not going to go and hijack and get there and pursue what might seem as a political agenda. Unlike others who hijack student struggles, you know the fellow there. For instance, Talimpov, who takes the cause of students, a genuine cause for free education, and then turns it into a political, to raise the country, to make the country ungovernable, and to question the ANC government. We are not going to do that, because this is a genuine cause for students, and it's a genuine cause for society. That's what we are pursuing. That's why we're saying we're going to march along them. And also, when we say we condemn the violence, is that we don't agree with students burning buses, because what we are trying to say is that the very same buses that they are burning in raising their own issues, those issues, is the very same bus they're going to need tomorrow to ferry them in between the residencies and the institution. So the students must protect those facilities. So they must be aware of those elements, because those are not general student, those might not even be students in some cases. We've been able to identify, for example, in the Free State, we have identified individuals who are not necessarily students, but they came and then they banned buses, they banned libraries, you know. Because these libraries are they have books that must liberate them. You know. So you can't ban a library and say you are fighting for free education. Where are you going to get that book when you've banned it? So that's why we are saying that students, as much as they protest, we agree those who continue to protest, but we still urge them to go back to class, but also bring the commission earlier, then so that next year when they open, free education should be the call.
Okay, I think we've received the necessary responses. But I think there's one issue also quickly. There's been an allegation that the Youth League has not been there on this particular issue. And I think we must clarify it. Throughout the consultation processes that were even done by the minister, the ANC Youth League made representation. The ANC Youth League called for a moratorium. So on that one, we've always been clear. Even in our own, as President is saying, we did meet with PYA. Even on those particular sittings, we have said that our interest is the commission concluding its work. Now, the moment the commission, because you'd remember that the commission was given 8 months. It was supposed to have been done by August. But somewhere along the line in the year, we're told that the commission will now report next year. Now, we are saying that then a new struggle starts. It's called fee increments. And an intervention is done there, and this intervention is painted as though it's an intervention, because what you are doing there, you are not taking away the fees. You are simply taking the percentile aspect of it and you are subsidizing it as government. And I think our interest as an organization is that do away with the fees. That's what we want. Do away with the fees, because the fees, you can't continue to commodify education in this day and age. So we've also written an open letter to the minister. Of course, we're called all sorts of names. But I think that particular letter itself advised the minister that, Minister, it is our view that continue with the 0%, let's finish this particular matter of the commission. So the Youth League has been there. We've attended meetings with the minister. We've in fact gone to vets, because it's another issue that has not been mentioned. We have been in vets. The only difference with us is that when we arrived in vets, we were obviously not carrying rocks, we're not carrying matches and tires. We're also not there for the television cameras. We were there, we engaged our structures. We said to our comrades that this is a particular genuine struggle, but our view is that the banning of libraries, the destruction of property is not the way to go. But we do understand, this is why we then said president, provincial chairs as the faces of the organization. Perhaps because if Sifiso goes there or Maropin goes there, then people say the Youth League is not there. So this is why we then said, president, provincial chairs as the faces of the organization. It's time for you now to also be there, but not to hijack the platform, not to go there and say, I'm not here to represent the Youth League, I'm here to represent something called a concerned citizen. No, no, no. You go there as a president of the ANC Youth League, but you march alongside the students because we agree with that particular cause. So I thought that one must clarify. We'll then obviously take a last round.
There are no rounds.
Okay.
Sorry, just a very quick one. You're speaking now about how you were there and been accused of being absent. Does the ANC Youth League feel that the government of the day is lacking in its presence at institutions of higher learning? The minister himself gets lambasted time memoriam for sending officials from his department and not physically going there himself. What does the league make of the government's role, particularly also the ANC as well? You know, when Daddy Pofu was there, who you're now very critical of, a lot of people lauded him, saying he's done what the ANC has failed to do, including ANC members saying you failed to see a gap and use it, your leadership that is. What's the ANC Youth League's take on that? Thanks.
No, it's this one.
Okay, my name is Mutlingana. Okay, my name is Mutlingana from SABC. Costello is called on the national strike tomorrow. One of the, they are marching against unemployment and continual retrenchments. And I have you say that you also want to plan to march to JSC. When is the march tomorrow? We're going to join Costello in marching to JSC, or you're also trying to hijack this one? If I may ask.
We're clear that we're not hijackers.
Samuel, you're fine.
No, I'm fine. One question. Who do you blame for not implementing the ANC Magawu Polokwane resolution, free quality higher education? You've been very critical of the minister, but the minister, in my understanding, did take the report of free quality higher education to the ANC, AEC, and to the presidency, which the ANC never acted upon. Is there any political will from the ANC and from the president of the country to implement free quality higher education? Because he has the sole prerogative of declaring free quality higher education as the head of state.
Okay. We are going to, this is the last round. Comrades will respond, then we'll close. President.
Who do we blame? We are not in the blame game. But what we're saying is that ANC collectively, the implementation of that particular resolution would need the ANC collectively to take that decision. And we're calling on, once again, for the ANC to listen to it with, because there seems to be that problem. So we're not going to be blaming an individual. It's a resolution of the ANC, which must then be implemented by the ANC and its government. As it relates to COSATU strike, going to JSE, I'm sure what they are striking, they are going there for a different matter. We have not been invited to join the strike. We will not impose ourselves on the strike of COSATU. We will not go and hijack the genuine demands of the workers. In principle, we support them, but we will not go there and grandstand because we have not been invited. this question of CD of the minister, one of the issues we have raised CD as the Youth League is that in as much as there's consultations with vice chancellors and all of that of the institution of higher learning, but it will also be important for government, and unfortunately because the person who consults on behalf of government is the Ministry of Higher Education, that the students too must be engaged. We've always made it call. So any deployee, if you are a minister of any department and there are issues, you must go there yourself. Don't over-rely on sending officials. So we hope and trust that the Ministry of Higher Education will find time in their busy schedule to also engage with the affected students in those institutions of higher learning. We think that then we have covered your questions. We will see us on the ground marching along with the student city. What do you want?
I asked though about your view then of the ANC leadership, the mother body. We haven't seen ANC leaders there. You accused Dali Mpofu of hijacking the students' movement. However, the one criticism that's coming through quite strongly, even from ANC members, is that the ANC's failed to take advantage of this by being there on the ground with the students. So if you find fault in the minister failing to be there himself, what then of the ANC leadership?
No, but like we're saying, I'm not sure if you are saying that as a matter of fact. How do you know that a particular leader of the ANC may have gone there, but have not postured in the manner in which Dalimbu has postured himself? Because for him it's about political expediency for his political party to be seen being the one leading the struggle. Like Comrade So was saying, we've been there as well, but we have not grandstand and want to appear on cameras. We're not accepted by cameras as the ANC and its leagues, but we are part and we've always been calling for that. And it's quite unfortunate, as we have said, that our Minister of Finance find it very good for him in New York when he's in front of those cameras to make a statement he has made that free education is not possible. When he is a deployee of the ANC and he knows the resolution of the African National Congress. So what is going to be said is it's going to be said that it's part of the Premier League fighting Pravin Kotan, but it's a policy resolution of the African National Congress. And as the Youth League, because it affects our constituents, we must continue to advocate for it. So it's quite unfortunate that when we see cameras at times in the movement, we get to be defocused. But we understand the excitement. Thank you very much. Oh, no, I'm told Tim wants to add something.
Yeah, thanks. Just a quick one. Our role as the ANC Youth League is to infuse new thinking in the African National Congress. Therefore, that is why even right now, when we realize that the old guard is taking time in implementation of the resolutions that we took, we are saying we are going to the street together, marching side by side with the people who are saying free education now, because that is our call. The other one, President responded very well to it. Thank you.
Are you ready to comment on the President appearing before Public Protector's Office today?
No. We are not commenting on President appearing on any commission or public protector. We are not commenting on a match of EFF and ANC. We are commenting on free education, which we support as the ANC. Thank you very much. The conference is over.
Kuleka